Today is April 24th. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. Brought to you by Royal Banks, Missouri and Munganess St. Louis Acura. And Rammer, we're about, 3 hours before game time, so no bootlegging lineups available for you just yet. Maybe by the time we're all said and done, maybe they'll pop up for us. But do want to let you know that Bootlegging Bob's, hey, they are open right now. They opened at 5 o'clock, and they have the food trucks, pop-up food trucks out there at Bootlegging Bob's all week long. So head on out there, 5 o'clock on Mondays, 3 o'clock the rest of the week. Down there on Morgan Ford, it's the old Colorado Bob's, now Bootlegging Bob's, part of the Bootlegging family. Rammer, the Cardinals took one of three. Yes, I'm sorry. Yeah, okay.
Before we get into tonight, and maybe we can make up our own lineup to see how close we get. Speaking of lineups, I'm pretty pissed at you.
Yeah. I was going to give you the opportunity to say something later on in the show, but let me hear it.
Let's do it now. We can be more linear.
Okay.
Get that so that we don't want bad blood on our show.
Right.
So last night, a very nice, pleasant tweet from Joe Roderick, who I follow on Twitter.
I texted you. No, I thought I texted you about this.
Was it a text?
Yeah, this was a text. You would not have responded to me the way that you did on Twitter.
I knew I responded to you via text, but I thought I was doing that too.
No. You would not. Yeah, you would not have written the words. You would. I have never seen you use such language on Twitter. So therefore, it was a text.
So basically, Joe says, I'll paraphrase. Wow, kind of cool. I never would have thought of having Nolan Gorman hit third. Yeah. And smileys and so folks, I texted him back. What the F? I've been talking about it for 3 weeks. So, look, my common disclaimer is I don't blame people for not listening to what I say, but occasionally I come up with a nugget.
Oh, do you like? So you like? I mean, with them bumping Goldschmidt up to 2, you like that? It wasn't a.
Well, that's
2,
really
3, yeah.
That's really where it all started for me, because I think if numbers sort of continue to trend the way they are, and the modern way of building a lineup, Goldschmidt is that perfect number 2 guy because of the very high on base. Plus, he can do damage. Remember, Tony La Russa used to talk about. Tony was kind of in that transition of old school lineup to new school, and Tony would say damage in the 2-hole.
Yeah,
and Goldie is perfect at that. For those who don't know what I'm talking about with old school lineups, traditional old school lineup, you'd have a little skinny runt who can't hit it out of the infield, bunting and hitting behind the runners in the 2-hole. Mm-hmm. And then the big guys come up behind him. Obviously, there are many exceptions to that, but that's pretty typical. Go back and look at the Cardinal lineups in the 70s. They traded Dick Allen, of all people, to get Ted Sizemore to hit behind Lou Brock that he did for nearly a decade. Insane, especially when you look at what we're doing with the lineups today. And so everybody doesn't think I'm, the old school guy. The lineup construction is way better today. It makes far more sense. Anyway, back to the Cardinals. So pick a leadoff guy, either Donovan or Nootbaar in today's game, or maybe even Edman when he's hot. And then you go Goldschmidt and you say, you could move Contreras up to 3, but somewhere in the 3, 4, 5, Gorman's got to be in there. And I think he's earned that slot. And I think against both kinds of pitching, which could, Joe, lead us into what we think we might see in tonight's lineup against Cobb.
Yeah, I want to talk about the lineup construction here, because one thing that I know you and Rock, I don't think foresaw when you guys were doing the show on Friday. I didn't catch the show on Friday. I apologize for that, but I don't think you guys foresaw the return of Paul DeJong this weekend in the lineup on Sunday. Paul DeJong comes back on Sunday, gets 3 hits, hits a home run. He's going to be in the lineup tonight. Paul DeJong is going to be back in the lineup tonight. He only can play 2 positions. He can play shortstop and he can DH, which is something that I talked about all of spring training, that they should have done with him, and that was move him around the infield.
You're 100%.
Put him at second, put him at first, if anything, to up his trade value to show you that he's versatile. But all they did was have him at short or have him DH. The entire time, they were without Edman, they were without Goldschmidt, they were without Arenado. They had all of those. Donovan could have played the outfield when Nootbaar or O'Neill were gone. They had all of these opportunities to move DeJong around, and they insisted on putting him at shortstop. So now you're stuck with him playing shortstop or him playing DH. Those are the two options you have with Paul DeJong. And right now, I guess, I mean, Donovan can play the outfield. Edman can play the outfield. Okay. I guess that they both can play second base. I guess that's what we're looking at here. If DeJong gets hot, those are your options, and then DH him against lefties.
Rank the outfielders 1 through 5 in your mind? Just currently. We know the future can change everything, but just currently. I
mean, can I say Donovan's an outfielder?
No.
Okay, so you're talking of the outfielders that we know that we have seen, the way I rank them,
or just just give me. I'll tell you what. For purposes, give me the guys that are 4th and 5th.
The guy. I mean, I don't see fully. I mean, I like a big lefty hitting second as much as the next guy, but I don't know why they love Burleson as much as they do. But I would say it goes O'Neill, Nootbaar, Walker, Carlson are my top 4.
You have O'Neill 1?
As far as the talent that goes in the outfield, O'Neill, I mean, probably Nootbaar, if he's back to being healthy that we've seen, then Nootbaar's your number 1. But have we seen enough out of him?
I didn't form the question well.
Okay.
Rank them based on current performance level.
Nootbaar number 1. I want to say Walker 2, O'Neill 3, Carlson or Burleson 4, Carlson 5. I
think Burleson's out hit O'Neill, and it's not even close. So, but here's my point. We kind of meandered to it. My point is, and I think you're right, if Ollie puts DeJong at short tonight, that moves Edman to second. Brendan Donovan has outperformed the bottom group of your outfielders. Would you play Donovan in left, Nootbaar in center, and Walker in right?
That's another. Hey, you know what? You just brought up another point too with all of this. Do you want to put Jordan Walker in right field in San Francisco?
I think that I appreciate anybody who wants to dissect and really parse all the numbers and all the data. I mean, you've been playing ball your whole life. Go catch a fly. I don't think that's that big of a deal.
Okay, but Ollie did say this. Ollie did say
field, that's okay with me.
Ollie did say at the start of the year where Walker played would depend on what park they were playing in. This is the first park that would come into play.
Yeah, that's okay with me.
So this is where you kind of get an idea of how they feel about Jordan Walker. And I would imagine, I mean, we're, less than 3 hours from game time. I would imagine that it's been, already for an hour plus now, Willie McGee's been out there with Jordan Walker hitting fly balls off that wall.
So if you put him in left and Donovan in right, or if you say, no, we're going to go with defense, you probably would have Carlson in center, O'Neill in left, and Nootbaar in right. If you say, I got to have a defensive outfield.
Yeah.
But I think Walker's going to play. I know we'll get to the pitcher stuff. You've got some good pitcher stuff. That's part of it. I think tonight but this doesn't really make an answer because we all have a different opinion of the word or who fits in the word best. To me, I'm not worried about the splits. I'm playing my best guys tonight.
Yeah. By the way, we do, let's see. 28 minutes ago, John Denton did post a lineup. So we do have one. Bootleg and Barbecue brings you the lineup each and every day. So we've been sitting here talking about it, Rammer. I didn't realize that it had already popped up a while ago. The sites that you and I use have not seen that yet. But here we go. Nootbaar is in center. Goldschmidt at first. Gorman DHing Contreras behind the plate. Burleson in right. O'Neill in left. Donovan at third. DeJong at short. Edman at second base.
So Arenado gets the day.
Yes.
So that changes it all up as well. So it's who's in the outfield? Burleson, Nootbaar, and
Nootbaar at center, Burleson in right, O'Neill in left.
That's interesting. Now, Burleson has played outfield well, but you wouldn't call him a gazelle. I think that's an interesting call, and they're choosing him over Walker, even though as we get to the splits, unless I miss something, I don't think the lefty-righty thing's going to play into it.
I mean, you could have easily put Donovan in right field and had Gorman play third.
Yeah.
I don't know what to say to that. I have no words to say to this.
Once you get your 9 guys, who's my 9 tonight?
Right.
Then I try and configure them in the best defense I can. Arenado's out. Who's your next best third baseman? It should be DeJong because he should have been working on it all winter.
Yeah.
Not, it's probably Donovan.
Yeah.
Although Gorman played it his whole life. If we sat down and asked Jose Oquendo off the record, who's a better third baseman, Gorman or Donovan? I don't know what he would say. You would think the answer would be Gorman, don't you?
Yeah, he's already started there too tonight. He's already this season.
He's been a third baseman his whole life.
By the way, Arenado 3 for 6 against Alex Cobb in his career with a home run.
Well, I hope Ollie's not getting into this NBA BS load management.
There's probably other games that you could do that for. So I wonder if there's something else going on with Nolan Arenado.
Now, having said that, even if he's a little ouchy, absolutely take the day. Boy, I got a cold. I'm dehydrated. Man, my shoulder's a little sore. Take the day. Yeah. I completely agree with that.
I'm looking here. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything of note yet. I don't know if they've talked to Ollie yet, but that's nothing of note. So something to pay attention to over the next few hours. It's Jordan Montgomery
thing is way overdone. I think
it's Jordan Montgomery versus.
It's killing the NBA, and it's gonna hurt baseball if they do it that way too.
Yeah, Jordan Montgomery, Alex Cobb. Be nice for the Cardinals to get 2 back-to-back quality starts, something they have not had all year. Jordan Montgomery on the mound tonight. He'd be the guy that would do it. Not a whole lot of numbers against him in that lineup for the Giants. Michael Conforto has seen him 6 times. J.D. Davis has seen him 4 times in their careers. Rammer, before we get out of here, just quickly, I know, Giants, Cardinals, not the most attractive series in baseball right now. How about this to start your week? Astros versus Rays this week. That's on the schedule.
Yeah.
Dodgers Pirates. Who would have thought Dodgers Pirates would have been a series to watch? That's on the schedule.
Well, but having said that, though, the Dodgers are a game over 500?
Right. Max Muncy, Max Muncy has been fun to watch.
Lately, first 2 weeks of the year, he couldn't get on base. He was awful. The key guy for them is Outman.
Yeah. Braves versus Mets.
And Mookie Betts playing shortstop.
Mm-hmm. Braves Mets.
Yeah, it's a good one.
And then also you have the Mexico series of Padres and Giants this week too.
The Mexico
series. So those are a few series that are going on in baseball this week. Something to keep an eye on around while the Cardinals are out on the West Coast. Maybe you get some games in. Watch some games that start early this week, as those games don't get started until later on out on the West Coast. Rammer, it's your favorite time of the year. It's Cardinals on a West Coast swing. You love it when you love it when they're up late.
Night ball.
And yeah, I know that's your jam. So you will be watching those games later on this evening. We are brought to you each and every day by Munganess St. Louis Acura and Rammer, also Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri. It's where better service means better banking, whether you're in St. Louis, on the east side, in St. Charles, or northeast Missouri. At all those places, it's Royal Banks and their service. Call them 314-212-1500.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. This has been another edition of Daily Cards Live right here on ClaimsOnline.com.
At St. Louis Acura, we have over 130 new Acura models in stock or on the way in March. Like the 2023 Acura MDX, get $1,500 in loyalty cash when you buy, or you can lease the MDX starting at $599 a month. Earn $1,000 loyalty cash on the 2023 Integra, RDX, or TLX, or you can save over $3,500 on our large selection of Acura courtesy vehicles. St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.